So, hello my Gunrunners, welcome back to AKAYY Reacts. For anyone that's new, hi, I'm AK, an ex-conscript of Iran. Mainly my work during conscription was guard duties, patrol duties, and judicial escorts, or in a simpler term, I was a 911 responder from the side of the law enforcement. Now, today's video title is Amnesty Box, Good Steak, Campfire Stories. If you've been here long enough, you should know that mikeburnfire videos and Zach Hazards have been a staple of this channel. It's always fun to just listen to them tell their stories and maybe quip in with some of mine. Before we start, just make sure to go over to their channel, give them a like, subscribe, comment, share, all of that. Let the algorithm do its thing. All the links are going to be down in the description right below, and you can see a link to the video in the top right corner right about now. And hey, if you like this video, maybe like and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get started.
Did I ever tell you about the time I actually took stuff out of the Amnesty Box?
The lost and found box, you mean?
Oh, well,
You took
never
something
deployed,
out?
So I guess you wouldn't have an Amnesty Box.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So when I was in Iraq, they had these big boxes like scattered around base, and it was a kind of like a big red plywood box that looks kind of like a mailbox. Right?
All right.
What is the amnesty box for?
You're supposed to put things in there that
I
you're
can
not supposed to
guess.
have. Like if you have ammunition that's unaccounted for, or
You just came
porno
across
magazines.
it,
So
or
it's a
yeah,
box to
yeah.
turn things in without getting in trouble.
Yeah, it
For
basically.
having
No
things you
repercussion.
shouldn't be
Got it.
having.
Yeah, exactly. If you put stuff in there, no one's gonna ask questions. Nobody's gonna look into it. They're just gonna take it and they'll dispose of it properly.
In other
Just before they get into it more, first off, this is a foreign concept to me. There is no I plead the fifth or something in our law, but it's not that it's not practiced. I think I have seen something like this in maybe some of the terminals or airport security. I'm sure I've seen it on airport security, yeah. Anything that you shouldn't have, you would maybe leave there before any sort of checkup or screening actually happens. That is the more formal version of it that exists, but I haven't seen it in all airports and only some terminals. On the other hand, when I was going through basic training, the first ever day, before we were even allowed to go to the base, which I have talked about before, it's like in the middle of desert, hottest desert on planet Earth, by the way. They did offer us a pseudo form of amnesty box just as we were about to enter. They had all of us like in rows, but before that, a commander came out, said, "I'm not gonna ask, just know that these items that I'm going to read out to you are illegal. There will be multiple people coming around. If you have any of these, dispose it right now before we go through searches." And oh my god, so many people threw in so many stuff you couldn't even make sense of. One guy beside me threw in a shampoo bottle. The guy holding the box looked at him weird, like, "Why did you dispose of the shampoo?" Dude looked the officer dead in the eye and went, "I had 2 packets of cigarettes hidden in that one." He tried to smuggle cigarettes in a shampoo bottle. I was just flabbergasted at him, mouth wide open, looking at him like what? But yeah, saw some wild shit, from knives to drugs to cigarettes, yeah, everything. Almost every pharmaceutical had to go through screening, make sure it was never tampered with. No open bottles were allowed, just to make sure none of the content was ever changed. But yeah, they were tough on the screening, not that it worked, to be honest, considering the other stuff I saw. Too long, but yeah, that was the only time amnesty in the military I saw. It was there, but if you find anything during your service, you're supposed to write a report for it, even if it was lost and found. Anyway, I talked long enough. Let's start.
in other words, you're granted amnesty for having these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One day I'm walking back from the dining facility and I walk past the Amnesty Box that I always walk past, and I can't help but notice that the door on the bottom
So
of the Amnesty
prevalent
Box
is just
open.
on the way.
There's a door on the bottom of the box?
Yeah, well, there's a little door on the bottom, just like an actual mailbox. There's a door for it so that the appropriate people can show up and take everything out of the Amnesty Box, so it doesn't just completely fill up.
Okay.
The door is open on the bottom, and there is stuff just pouring out of there. Someone should secure this Amnesty Box. It's just open, and there's stuff dumping out. Wait a minute, what the hell is that? Ooh, fragmentation grenades.
Come on.
Just the
really?
live.
Flashbang grenades, that's fun. A bunch of H&K
Wow.
magazines for AR-15s. Porno mags!
Okay, I was gonna ask this. It sounds like
It's
this
like a
amnesty
loot box.
is a mix of ordnance and contraband.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm just
That's
digging
some
through it, and I'm
rare
like,
loot
oh, there's a
there
bunch of
right
alcohol
there.
in here. I don't care about that because I don't really drink.
Oh,
A bunch of
you don't
weed,
like
I
the
don't care
common
about that
drops,
either.
alright.
What is this, opium? Nah, get rid of it. Put that back in the amnesty box.
What am I, China? What do I need opium for?
Oh, come on.
I grabbed a cardboard box that was sitting next to the amnesty box and just started loading it up with stuff.
Okay.
I'm walking
Just
back
taking
to where
them?
I work with a cardboard box filled with fragmentation grenades and flashbangs and a bunch of
You're not
Wow.
allowed to do that.
H&K AR-15 mags.
That's not for you, Zach.
Bunch of porno mags.
Your mother would be
Just
disappointed,
everything.
I'm
Zachary.
super happy with myself that I found all this stuff. I'm just like, yay!
Yeah.
Unboxed
Found
an
all this
actual
stuff
loot
in a
box.
box
What
where
the?
stuff was supposed to be that you're not supposed to take.
Well, as I'm walking
Yeah?
back, my squad leader comes walking up to me and he sees me carrying this box filled with things that I'm not supposed to have.
Yeah.
And he comes running up to me. He's like, "Where did you get that?" And I said, oh, the amnesty box was open. So I took it. He goes, "Go put that back in the amnesty box." Looks in the box,
Sure.
grabs a porno mag out of it, and goes, "Go put
Wow.
that back in the amnesty box."
Hey, those are my boobs, bullets and bombs.
Anyway, I put everything back in the amnesty box. I didn't keep any of it.
You delivered a
You
porno
tried.
magazine.
You
I
tried.
delivered a porno mag. Actually,
Yeah,
that's not entirely
yeah.
true. I did keep all of the H&K M16 mags that I found because those are worth a lot.
Did you have an M16? You had an M16 then.
I had an M4. Same thing.
It fits there, yeah.
You- Usable, yeah.
They're magazines that worked in my rifle, so I just kept them.
You didn't get in
Ugh.
trouble for stealing stuff.
Nobody knew.
That's not the point.
Except my squad leader and anybody that was like, "Why was Hazard at the amnesty box?" I was dropping stuff off the amnesty box I wasn't supposed to have.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Problem solved.
Why did you have 17 porno magazines?
Kind of
and
tracks, but
6,000
the logic
ammunitions?
is just
I did keep one of the
skewed
flashbangs.
so much.
The one you
Oh,
hollowed
and a
out and brought home.
and a
That was a
flashbang.
different flashbang.
Oh yeah, so we all have so many.
Well, no, I didn't actually get to bring the flashbang home with me. I was super annoyed about that. And it
Oh,
was, it was a
poor you.
flashbang that had already gone off. It was completely inert.
Damn it! I wanted to breach and clear my neighbor.
Completely inert. There was nothing I could have done with it. And they were like, "Nope, you can't bring
Just
this
a
home with you."
souvenir, huh?
Why? Because it's got explosive residue on it. I've been in Iraq for 15 months. I'm made of explosive residue. I am just explosive residue at this point, you jackass.
I have to be careful when I sneeze. That I'm not a grain storage facility because there's gonna be explosions.
I will just explode. Yeah, they wouldn't let me bring that home. They wouldn't let me bring the tail of the mortar that almost killed me.
Fond memories. Got to keep that.
I thought it was really cool. I used it as a paperweight.
Let me bring my paperweight home. No, that's a bomb.
You see
You
that?
can't
That
bring
almost killed me.
It's not a bomb. It's a chunk of metal that's banana peeled outwards. It's got explosive residue on it. Again, I am made of explosive residue.
A 40% explosive residue.
Yeah, I was not happy they wouldn't let me keep those things. I had a bunch of cool stuff they wouldn't let me keep.
Yeah, no kidding.
Disappointed about it.
What
Oh,
did they let you keep? Well, what did you keep?
I
that they
kept a
didn't
lot.
know
I
about?
kept actual lot.
It may or may not have violated international law.
Oh my good god.
I'm not gonna say I did it. I'm also not gonna say I didn't do it.
All right, then let's move on.
I don't think I should talk about this anymore.
Yeah, you
Please,
shouldn't.
I'm
You
curious.
shouldn't.
Tell me about all of the drugs.
If you have to
smuggled
start
home.
like
they
that,
weren't
you're
drugs.
already.
Please narrow it down. What were they?
What were they?
Oh,
What were
shit.
they?
No, they weren't drugs. They weren't. I mean,
It's easier to explain, huh?
Drugs.
Animal, mineral, or vegetable? Was it bigger than a bread box?
Senator, I can neither confirm nor deny the allegations that have been levied against me.
Okay. We'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that one.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely.
I've told you before how I never used to eat chocolate,
Yeah.
and then
Same.
they tantalized it in front of me in boot camp,
Mm-hmm.
and then I binged on it for a week, and I loved it.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And I binged so hard that I was set for life. I don't want chocolate ever again.
I hope I
Want
could do
chocolate at
that.
all.
No chocolate, please.
I thought for years that I hated steak.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, I thought for the longest time when I was growing up that I didn't like steak.
Huh.
Because they undercooked it and served it to you medium raw. And you found out you
Uh.
liked it well done.
No, opposite.
Okay.
What's wrong with you? You like things just burnt to a crisp. You just
I
want
do.
A lump
I
of carbon
genuinely
for
do.
dinner.
I like my steak to crunch like a cracker.
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
almost same,
horrifying.
same.
Unless it's blackened, in which case that's great.
I like it seared.
Yeah, I thought I hated steak for years because
Okay, I have to pause it just to give my own input here. First off, I've had steak, but it's definitely not the one you have. I have a very good friend of mine that's a chef, worked for years in different restaurants, and especially in making kebabs. So even when we make these, we kind of have our own spin to it. We use our own spices and stuff. Also, I have yet to see anyone liking to eat anything close to medium rare. We usually eat our meats just well done. I don't know, the culture is just, we like to skewer things and we like to make them in kebabs. And doing meat like medium rare, to us it would feel kind of wrong. Some people might enjoy it, but not everyone. We overcook stuff all the time. Some of our stuff you need to overcook to be able to eat. There is no option for medium rare. So yeah, I had my steak well done, but that's just the one time I tried it. If we are having meat, we just put it on top of a stick and cook it. We like it like that. It's a very essential part, you know? Let's keep going.
Anytime I had steak up until that point, my dad thought he was really good at cooking steak.
Okay.
He wouldn't season it.
All right.
He wouldn't like let it rest or anything.
Oh
He
God.
would just throw it on the grill and cook it until it was brown all the way through, and then serve it.
Dad, why is there mayonnaise on the steak?
Oh,
Extra
ew,
flavor.
ew.
He would get really mad if I would try to put steak sauce on it.
It's like, take a personal insult to it?
Yeah, like he hadn't prepared it properly, and I was insulting him. So I thought I hated steak for years. It was like, I hate steak, I won't eat it.
You just
It's always
didn't have a
tough,
good
and
one?
It takes a million years to chew through it. And it's just disgusting, and I won't eat it ever again. And then I was somewhere, and basically the only option was to get steak. And they went, well, how would you like the steak served? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know anything. This is when I'm like 20. I'm like 20-something. Like, how would you like the steak served? I don't know. I don't know anything about steak. And one of my friends who was there, thank God, was no, get it rare.
Get it rare?
Sure, rare.
Wow.
I don't care.
That's undercooked. I don't know.
They brought the steak out to me. I'm like, oh, it's super bloody. And my only knowledge of meat until that point, because I had never really cooked for myself, I'd made macaroni and cheese.
I
must
can't.
kill the governor. Ooh, I can't say that one now.
Yeah.
I'd only ever made
Yeah, right.
Okay, I don't get this
That was
reference.
topical.
Yeah, after that whole thing with Michigan.
Yeah, thanks, terrorists.
Yikes!
Oh, I can
That
guess.
joke is dead now. I can never do that joke again.
Better that joke than the governor. Hey!
Hey! My only knowledge of meat up until that point had been ground beef, which generally you don't want to serve ground beef still pink in the middle.
Who
Of course.
doused my steak in animal blood?
What did it?
Wait, steak comes from a cow?
Steak comes from cows?
My dad always made it from tofu.
Oh God.
Tofu steak. It's actually not bad.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Unrelated,
exist
the,
around this
fake
part.
meat market has gotten so much better since I was a kid. There is some fake meat that's way good. Anyway, sorry. I'm off
Bit of a
topic.
tangent.
They brought the steak out to me. Alright, fine, I'll try it. I took one bite out of it, and it was just like the heavens opened, and it was sunshine and rainbows. It was the most delicious thing I think I had ever eaten. I used to hate steak, but it just turns out that no one in my family knew how to cook
Yeah,
steak. It doesn't
understandable.
matter how good the cut of meat is. If you throw it on a grill and blast the ever-loving fuck out of it like you're trying to clear out a pillbox with a flamethrower in World War II, it doesn't
I don't know,
taste
man. I
good.
can't stomach it. I
It
can't.
tastes like charred meat. Go
Yeah.
figure.
Yeah, that's a
Season
kebab.
the
That's a
steak,
literal definition of a
saute it.
kebab.
And then you can let it rest for several minutes after you've cooked it, and it allows the flavor to really get into it. The fat on the steak
Yeah.
has some really great flavor in it. Meat tastes good.
It does, yeah. I will not deny that to anybody. Meat tastes delicious.
From that
Fat
point
and
on, I was
spices,
just
yeah,
like,
it's just
okay, I love
perfect
steak
with
now.
meat.
I legitimately thought that steak was terrible until one day when I had steak that was actually good, and it blew my frickin' mind.
Yeah. I don't eat it very much anymore, but when I do, it's
Yeah.
a special treat.
Oh man, oh god, now I want a steak.
I know you do. That's what happens when you talk about food.
Yeah.
Let's talk about foods you should be eating instead. Carrots are delicious.
Carrots are pretty good, actually. Carrots are quite sweet. You ever had jicama?
I don't even know
Carrot
what that
juice is
is.
Jicama's
also
tuber,
fine.
and it's got like a waxy exterior to it.
Oh, okay.
It's as crisp as a carrot is,
All
but
right.
it's like the same color, and it's sweet, like a sweet potato.
I was unaware.
Yeah, they're really good. I had jicama
Normal
for the first
carrots
time a
is
while
just
ago, and I was
fine.
like, dang, I could eat these like all the time, but it is kind of a pain to like cut them and peel them. You can't really use like a vegetable peeler because that exterior coating is very waxy and thick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll try that someday.
Hey, you should try jicama. They're pretty good.
I'm open to new
It's
experiences.
spelled weird though. And I think there's one of those little whoopsie doodles on the top of one of the letters.
Whoopsie doodles.
Yeah, I don't know what they're called.
The tilt key?
Umlaut? No, that's German and also for metal bands where you use it when it's not appropriate to use it. But it doesn't matter because you got to make your metal band. Like in Motorhead.
Yeah. Well, class, this is called a tilde. I just call it a wavy thing.
I call it a whoopsie doodle.
Wavy thing and whoopsie doodle. I'm gonna use those now. Aw, that was fun as well. As always, make sure to support the original creator of this video, liking or viewing the original content. Anyway, just a couple of points I want to make. First off, before I forget, about the carrots he just mentioned. We have like different juice bars. There are no bars or nightclubs, so, you know, cafes and juice bars are very popular, especially the younger generations per se. Cafes are more of an old thing. Even older than that are tea houses, which the prerequisite is like being 30 plus or something. You get tea and hookahs. No, not the one you're thinking of, this one. I digress. And the juice bars, you can actually get some of the more staple ones. Carrot juice is always, I think, one of the staple ones. I've seen one program, the food review show, went through like one of them. They have like all these mixers, juicers, and these industrial machines in just small shops. It's kind of like a Dairy Queen, if I want to use an example that they showed it. Also, you know what? I'm going to link the video up top if you want to look at it. I did go through some of our weirder foods as well. One of them was Majun in the juice bar. He tried it. It's a mixture. It's too many things to list, but if you go through it, you can find it. I kind of brought that up because even in that show, it showed that how much of our food is just like meat-based. And even then, there's almost no way I could even imagine any of my countrymen like rare or even medium rare steak. I think it's just too bloody. It is for me. I don't know, man. I'm gonna have it on my bucket list if I ever get the chance to try an authentic version anyway. Because hearing Zach call it good, I am inclined to try it at least, you know? Also, we don't get any of the fake meat stuff like tofus or even impossible stuff. I've heard they mimic it pretty good, but just I haven't seen much of these in any almost grocery store. Maybe the bigger ones would have it, the chain ones most likely, but even then I don't know how many vegetarian restaurants I have ever actually seen in here, just because like so much of our food is just dominated by different types of meat. It's not that we only eat that, it's just that we use other vegetables and herbs just in the cooking itself and almost make nothing that does not have meat as a requirement to it, you know? The only food I can actually think of that doesn't actually have it, the one single one, is just osh, which is type of like a noodle soup, if you will, if I want to compare it, but it has many different flavors to it. Every region kind of makes their own special recipe of it. Some types are very staple. We have like this special takeout place for them. It's a kitchen of sort. You go in, you place an order, it gives you like a bowl of it, or if you want in bigger volumes. So it is a popular dish, but it's like the only thing I can imagine that is just vegetarian friendly. If you want more of the imagery to go with it, just check the food review show. Also, I still can't get my mind wrapped around the Amnesty Box that Zach took stuff from, when, let's be honest, there was just so many dangerous things in. But you know, even they had like a one-way drop shoot, and even then they're supposed to like catch some drugs, sometimes maybe a knife or something, not goddamn grenades. If you have any videos you'd want me to see, make sure to comment it down below. Also, considering the current conditions and climate, there is a non-0% chance of the background you're seeing right now becoming the actual reality of our next week. So good luck everyone. Hopefully I'll see you next week. Anyway, I ranted enough. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you liked the video. See you all next week. And now delete search history, just to be sure.